Hey guys, welcome back to Josiah's world.
So, for this week's video, we're gonna be doing a story time. We're gonna do a story time about his birth.
Yes, guys, about his birth.
Okay, so it all started. Oh my god. If you guys hear music in the background, my dad's in the living room. He's listening to Mexican music. Okay.
Míralo, ella. ¿Qué pasó? Yeah, guys, he gets happy when we play around with him like that. Alright, so today we're going to talk about Josiah's birth.
Okay. So, it all started, obviously, I was pregnant. Duh. I got pregnant, I think in April. It was around April. Yeah. And then, I was super scared. Well, I didn't know, obviously, for like the first month. I didn't know. And, we didn't find out until, I remember the date, May 15th is the day that we found out. And so he had picked me up from school, and it was during lunchtime, and I was a senior, so I could like leave, but I kind of had to leave in secret because people couldn't pick you up. And what's gonna call it? I say I'm gonna say that a lot. Be careful. Okay, so he had picked me up from school, and then one day he had came to my house, and then I told him how I was feeling. I kept on throwing up in the morning, and I remember I watched this one episode of Beyond Scared Straight, and this one girl, she was like super scared or whatever, and she threw up out of the nowhere, and she threw up yellow stuff, and the officer said, when you throw up yellow, that means either you're nervous or you're pregnant. And then, yeah, so then I was like, oh, I'm throwing up yellow, what the hell? And obviously,
I was really scared, guys. Like, I couldn't believe it.
yeah.
I was like, no freaking way, I'm gonna be a dad.
No, yeah. I told him how I was feeling, and then he was like, what the
Like,
heck?
I wasn't planning to be a dad or to get married anytime soon. Like,
well, he had proposed to me already, but we had talked about it, and we were like, let's travel, like...
yeah, like, we wanted to work hard, like, go to college first.
Yeah.
And then, like, we
Well,
went the wrong direction.
You're not the wrong direction.
Well, not the wrong direction, like, don't get me wrong.
Our plans changed.
Yeah.
That was that. Okay, so I told him how I was feeling, and then he was like, uh-oh, and we kind of just left it at that for a while until like he was like, okay, you know what, we're gonna find out today. So he picked me up from school, we went to his house, nobody was home, it was besides his grandpa, and we went to go get a test. I stayed in the car, and then we got to his house, and then I took it, and I was like this, you know how you're supposed to wait 2 minutes, like this, it popped up and it was positive, and I was like,
I couldn't believe it. Like, when she handed it to me, she was hella laughing, and I was like, no.
I don't know why, but when I get nervous, I start laughing. And I was just, when I was sitting on the toilet, he was in the garage with his grandpa. And then I was just laughing. When I saw it, I was like, oh, crap. And I just started laughing. And, yeah, I was so scared.
Him with his binky.
Wee! He was like, yeah, Mom, I was here to stay. But the crazy thing is that, like, whatchamacallit, I was working at the local pizza shop, and I was like carrying heavy things. I was working out. I was like doing like 200 something squats with the bar. And you know how they say, like, when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to carry heavy things, and like I was just carrying heavy things, but I didn't know. And then so then I was like, what the heck? And then I felt so bad because I was like, what the heck? So then I got out of the bathroom and then I went to the garage. I put the test under like I put it in his room and I put it like under a blanket or something, and then I went to the garage and then he was like, oh, you already did it, and I was like, yes. And then he was like, well, what? And I didn't want to tell him. I was like, you could go see for yourself. So then, yeah, I gave him the test and I was laughing. And then he kind of looked at me. He was like,
I don't remember if I was at work.
no, you weren't.
No, like...
It was when you were going to school.
Yeah, I think I was going to school, like...
He was going to college.
I was studying to be a mechanic. I was, but I didn't like it because it sucked. But yeah, like, I would go to school and then I would think about it, like, the whole time. I wasn't even paying attention to my classes. Like, I was distracted, like, to the max. And then I was like, what am I gonna do? So I stopped going to college. I dropped out.
And then he kind of just like, he stood there for a little bit. And then I sat on his bed and then he hugged me. And then he hugged me and he was kind of like, I don't know if he was fake crying or if he was really crying. But like a little bit of tears came out. And I was like, are you really crying?
Yes, I was crying.
But I wasn't crying. I was just kind of like, oh crap. And then I was like, oh, everything's gonna be okay. Instead of him telling me, I was like, everything's gonna be okay. And then I got a soup. I made myself a soup, and he bought me some chips. And I went back to school because I had like only 30 minutes. And then it was like 45 minutes, huh?
Yeah, it was like 45 minutes.
45 minutes. And then yeah. And then I went back to school. I made it on time. Then I was like, I went back and I was like, nothing happened. And I had told my friend how I was feeling. She's like, dude, what if you're pregnant? And I was like, I'm scared. Hopefully not. And then I was just so scared. So then I went back and I was just like acting like nothing happened. And then we were like texting each other. And I was just like, once class was ending, I was kind of just staring at my. Oh, I didn't have a phone. I had an iPod. I was just like staring at it, and I was like, damn, because we were texting each other, and like we were just like, what the heck? And then I was kind of like, I was about to start crying, but then I was like hella blinking.
We're sorry for the bad quality. Like, we're barely starting. Like, we needed. We have to buy some cameras and stuff.
It's okay.
We're beginners, so.
And then I just went on with my classes, and then to 7th period is like my, so I had a class with my best friend, and then she asked me, she was like, did you take it? And then, because I would tell her at work how I was feeling, and then she was like, did you take it? And then I was like, yeah. And she was like, what? And then I told her, I was like,
You gotta speed it up.
yeah, I was like, I'm pregnant. And then she was like, but I told her like quietly so that nobody else would hear. And she was like, what? Oh my gosh. And I was like, yeah, I'm scared. And then I went home, and then time passed by. And then I went to my sister's house, and we were gonna sleep over. And then he came over, and then my sister was like, is he gonna go home, or is he gonna sleep over? And then like he slept over, but we were all in the sala, so like you know, nothing happened. We were just chilling watching movies. And then went to my college. My sister, she told my dad, and my dad got me in trouble. He got us in trouble. Yeah. And then that day we were gonna tell them that I was pregnant, but then we were too scared, so we just told his dad, and his dad was like, well, you could say what your dad told you.
Yeah, my dad, he was like, because I was like, Dad, I have something to tell you. And then he was like, what did you do? And I was like,
he already knew he did something.
I was like, I have to tell you something about Karime. And then he was like, well, le pegaste? And I was like, no, why would I hit her? And then he was like, entonces qué? And I was like, it's because I'm nervous. Like, I told him I'm scared. He's like, scared of what? And I was like, because, like, I don't know how you're going to feel. He's like, well, if you don't tell me, then I don't know what to tell you or how to feel. And then I was like, Karim is pregnant. And then he was like,
he stayed quiet for a little bit.
He was like he was quiet, and then he was like, ¿Qué te dije, Vali? And I was like, oh my gosh. And then he was like, I told you, well, you're not using protection or what? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, well, you're gonna have to like get a job, and like you're gonna have to step up because
yeah, he was like, te vas a tener que poner las pilas.
Yeah. And then he was like, cause you're gonna have to like have money to like buy the stuff she's gonna need like for her and for the baby. So I was like, crap, like I was like, what the heck did I get myself into? And then I was like, what if we like become broke or something? I don't know. I was just like, I was scared. That was like my biggest fear, like not having money to provide for the baby. So then I started working.
That's when you started working in chickens.
In this chicken place.
Not Foster Farms.
No, it's not Foster Farms.
It was an egg company.
And then like I wasn't getting paid enough. I was only making like $12 an hour.
He was still hustling hard though.
But I was working my butt off. Like I would start work early, like at 5 a.m, and get home like at 9 p.m. And still that wasn't enough. And so like I finally told her, I was like, you know what, babe, like I should get into your dad's job. Like I want to work with your dad. And then talked, and I told her like, come on, that's only gonna help us like for when the baby's born. And her dad was like, no, mija, because he's too skinny. Like
no, he did. He said
he's too young.
Yeah, because it's a really hard job.
He might not make it because he's young. Like it doesn't look like he can handle it. And then like I've been working since
he was young.
Like maybe like 10, 12. Like I always help my dad work, like handyman stuff, everything. Like, and then I talked to the dad, and he was like, well, I'm gonna be straight up with you. Like, the job is not easy if you think you're gonna just go in there and like have it easy. No, he was like, you're gonna have to work a lot of hours, work hard to like show them that you could do it. So yeah, I went to my interview. I made it. They interviewed me, and then they were like, well, we just wait for your call and then we'll call you. So I waited. Like in the next week, they called me, and I was doing like background
drug tested,
drug
everything.
Test. And then yeah, like I got a better paying job. I went straight to like warehouse, so I didn't have to go to like the minimum wage. And then like after that, everything just it was just like I had it tough, put it that way.
And then okay, after like he had told his dad, the next day his like my dad got us in trouble because he was like, he's not even supposed to be sleeping over, like, no, he was just getting us in trouble. And then my mom was kind of like disappointed, so then she was like, but she didn't know, they were just mad that he slept over at my sister's house. And then
she told me not to come around.
Yeah. She told him, even though she loved him so much, she was just really mad at him. And I got grounded, and then she was like, don't come around just like for a while, like let's see, like, so she can learn her lesson not to be doing that. And then
she was already pregnant, so it was pointless kind of.
But I mean, they didn't know, so it's not their fault.
Oh, true.
It's not their fault, they didn't know. So then like the next day, like he had told his mom, like me and his sister went to school together, so then like I would like go with his sister, and like I would just like feel so bad, and like I would like I would just tell her like I felt so bad, and then I was like, oh, I'll see you later, cause he had asked my mom, oh, can I take her, can I talk to her for a little bit and I'll take her home, and she was like, yeah, that's fine. And then his dad was like, cause there's some girls that like just to trap a guy, like they'll like, you know, I don't know, do something and lie to the guy and say they're pregnant just because they want to be with the guy. But his dad was like, let's just make sure, you know, because things happen. And then so we went to get another test, and then I went to his house again, and I took it, and obviously it came out positive. And then I was like so upset. And then yeah, he showed his dad, because his dad was in the room, and then his mom and his sister were in the sala. And then we went to, yeah, and then he took me home. And then I still had one more, so he's like, take that one later. And then I was like, okay. And then he had a computer, so then since he took my iPod away, I couldn't text him, I couldn't talk to him or anything. So he had a computer, so he let me borrow his computer. And then my dad was like, what is that? And I was like, it's a computer. And then he's like, for what? And I was like, oh, just me and my little brother that we're gonna watch movies. And then time passed. Like my mom let him come over again and all that stuff. Like, and I was able to go to his house. And then one day, cause like the way I would hide it, cause I was really skinny. So the way I would hide it is I would just go like that and I'd suck my stomach in.
Like,
crap. Yeah. And I stuck my stomach in and I was like, oh crap. And she was with my sister, my nieces, and my little brother, my little siblings. And they were gonna go eat pizza. And then I was like, oh, cause his mom made I don't know what food. And I was like, oh, can I go over? And she was like, yeah. And then we were all about to leave. And then she was like, come here. And I was like, oh crap. And I stuck my stomach in, and then she lifted up my shirt. And she was like touching my stomach. And then she was like, ¿qué tienes? And then I was like, oh, I'm bloated.
she legit said she was bloated, guys. I was like, really?
Yeah. I was like, I'm bloated. And she was like, yeah, I'm bloated. And she was like, I was like, all right, Mom. I was like, we'll see you guys later. And then we got in the car, and we kind of, like, we're just like, bro. And then, yeah, I got home kind of late. It was like, what, 10? And then my curfew was like 10, no later, like 11 maybe. So we got back at 10, and then I think I even brought my parents food. And then I went to my room, everything was like whatever, fell asleep. And then the next morning my mom came into my room and she was like, I want to talk to you. And she was like, my mom's the type of parent that like, even though she already knows, she just wants you to tell her. Like, she wants you to tell her straight up. So then she's like, I'm pretty sure you know what. She's like, are you gonna tell me, or am I gonna force it out of you? And then I just went ahead and told her, and then I was like, I'm pregnant. And then she started crying, and then she was like, I had dreams of like planning your wedding, like we were gonna buy you a car, and she was like saving money to buy me a car. And I was like, no. And I was like so sad, and I was like, damn it. And obviously I wasn't gonna like abort, because we don't believe in that. So, well, it's a thing, but like we don't believe in that. And then she was so upset. She's like, well, you're gonna have to tell. She was like, you're gonna have to tell your dad. She was like, soon, because I'm not gonna tell him. And she went to go call her best friend, and I remember like it was just me and my little brother that day. I don't know where my other sisters were, but it was just me and my little brother. And then he kind of heard her crying, and he came into my room, and he saw me crying, And then like I kind of just wiped my tears, and then he was like, we were just talking like whatever, and then I moved the blanket. He's like, you're fat. He just went like that. He's like, you're fat. And then like we just joke around like that. He's like, you look fatter. And I was like, oh my god. And I just started laughing, and then like they went on. And I was waiting for him to get out of work, and I had told him like I already told my mom, and I felt so bad. And I felt like I disappointed her, and I was just like crying. And then like my mom, she wasn't mad at me for the rest of the day.
This was before I started working with him.
Yeah, that was before he started working with my dad.
I was still working at the chicken place.
Yeah, and he was still working at the chicken place, and then he would text me every once in a while. We'd like FaceTime and stuff. And then my mom, we had our first 2 puppies from our old dog. He passed away, and we were gonna take those puppies that day to go get their shots. So then I had like to shower them, and then that's where like we kind of, me and my mom, we just started talking like normal. We were just like nothing even happened. And then she even took me to In-N-Out. She even bought me food after we took the puppies and everything. And then that's when she told me, like before we got home, because my dad was already home and he was just waiting for us. And she's like, you're gonna have to tell him sooner or later. She's like, you and Jesus. And I was like, okay. And then we ate or whatever, and then I had let him borrow a cage for his puppy, and my dad was like, can you go pick it up? And I was like, yeah. And that's when I told her, I was like, you need to come like now. Like he had just gotten home from work, and him and his dad were eating, and then he told his dad, he's like, Dad, we have to go. And his parents, like, you know, they're good people. Like they're the type of Mexicans that like van a dar la cara like for their kids, you know.
Like,
even though
my parents are not the type like
they're just gonna let you go.
If I were to get her pregnant and just like for me to leave and let the kid and the mom just figure it out on their own, like that's what my dad always taught me. Like if you get a girl pregnant, you're gonna freaking be there. So yeah, that's what she means.
No, like he was like, you know what, we're gonna like go with you. So his mom got ready real fast, and his dad took a shower. Both of them, they took a shower real fast. And then they were like heck ready. My dad was like, where are you? Why are you taking so long? And I was like, oh, it's because they were eating. And he was like, alright. And then so he drove my dad's truck back home, and then his parents went in their car, and then we live like 2 minutes away. So like we're getting the cage off, and then my dad was like just chilling, like, and because we have a recliner, so then he was just like chilling, watching the TV. And then I was just like, I walked in, I was just smiled at him, and I was like, oh, Jesus is here with his parents. And he's like, oh, okay. He was like, his parents, why? And then I was like, I don't know. And then he walked in, he's like, hello. And then, you know, they all said hi to each other.
It was hecka embarrassing.
It was awkward.
It was hella awkward, hella embarrassing. Like
it was just all your emotions were like
that.
It
was bad.
And then we all sat down, and then my parents were like, oh, ¿cómo están? You know, all this and that. And then Jesus just out of nowhere. It was out of nowhere. His parents, my dad and his dad, we're talking about work or something like that. And then out of nowhere, Jesus was like, well, yeah, we're here because
like I had to say it because my dad and my father-in-law, they were like
just talking about
work, and I was like, well, I'm gonna just cut to the chase. We're here because your Karime is pregnant. And then he was like,
he was like, oh really? And he looked at me, and I was like,
just started crying.
No, I didn't cry. I didn't. I was just like, and then they just started telling us, like, my dad told them, like, to be honest, I think you're still young, like, you're still a kid. And then he's like, a ti te faltaron fregadazos. He told me, because my parents hardly, like, they didn't really hit me. So he's like, a ti te faltaron fregadazos. And then I was like,
to this day.
And then, what's it call it? And then, like, my dad basically told him, like, boy, you're gonna have to work. And, like, you know, like, and if she has to work, well, she's gonna have to work, but she's gonna finish her school, and, you know. No, I had already graduated, actually. Like, I graduated and everything. I was, like, 4 months already, 4 months pregnant. And then, I was already 4 months pregnant.
So they found out, guys. They told me how to go around again.
No, it was just for a little bit, because my dad was mad at him. My mom was mad. So then they were just like, don't, like, obviously he could still talk to me and stuff, and, like, we could still see each other, but they just didn't want him to come inside for, like, it was, like, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
3
maybe.
weeks.
Like, 3 weeks. But they would still talk to him. Like, they weren't, like, they were mad at him, but they weren't, like, super mad. Because they still, like, they loved him and everything. They still love him. But, they were just like, don't come around for a little bit, like. And then the next day, like, my dad, like, he didn't really, like, say anything to me. He was just like, because they were going to the flea market, he's like, do you want food? And I was like, yes, please. And he was like, I'm bringing it for the baby, not for you, okay? And I was like, okay. And then he was like, what do you want? And, like, just normal. He was just like, you know, just like whatever. Like, he wasn't mad at, like, he was mad at me, but he wasn't, like, showing that he was mad at me. He was just, like, disappointed in me. But they were just, like, still acting chill, because they didn't want to upset me, obviously. Or, I don't know. Like, they were just being nice. And then, yeah, time passed, and then my sister has a little boy. And so she still had, like, a lot of newborn clothes. And, like, she's like, it was like the next week, and then she was like, well, we need to find out what you're having. And so then we went to, I think it was like, it was Pika Baby. It's called Pika Baby. And so we made an appointment to find out the gender. And he was working, and I told him, I was like, we're gonna go. And he's like, yeah, that's fine, go ahead. And then, so I went with my mom and my sister. And right when they put the little machine thing, like the ultrasound thing, like right away you could just see the little, like, his little huevitos. And I was like, right away we all knew, like, he was gonna be a boy. Like, everybody had a feeling he was gonna be a boy.
I told her, I was like, I don't know why, but I feel like it's a boy.
And the weird thing is that, like, I think it was a little bit before I got pregnant, or what, I was already pregnant, but I didn't know. I had a dream that we had a baby, and he was a boy. And then, I was like, I already knew he was gonna be a boy. And then, so, yeah, and then my sister was like, he's a boy, huh? And then the lady's like, yeah, congratulations. And I was like, what the heck? And then, like, she did, like, the 3D 4D, and, like, she pointed to his face, and you could tell, like, he has my eyes. And, like, you saw his freaking big old eyes. He was like, he had his hands like this. It was so freaking cute. And then they recorded his heartbeat, and then they gave me a little lamb. And they put it in there, and, and, yeah, so then I had it in they put everything in an envelope, and then we were waiting, and then we picked up my siblings from school, and I picked up his little brother, too. And then we waited until he got home to his house, and then he texted me like, oh, I'm home. And then that's when I went with my siblings and his little brother to his house. And I was like, don't tell him, guys. I want to tell him. And then I went to his room, and I had, like, the little bear in the envelope behind my back, like that. And I was like, I have a surprise for you. And he's like, what? And then I was like, close your eyes. And then he closed his eyes, and I showed it to him, and then he opened it, and then he was like, what? No way. And yeah, he was, like, so excited. He ran to his mom's room, and he's like, Mom, look. He was showing his mom. Everybody was all happy. And then, yeah, time passed. I was, like, looking for an OB. And I don't know. I wasn't comfortable with going to a guy doctor. My mom was going to make me an appointment with her doctor, but I was like, no, I don't want a boy doctor. Stuff. And then it turns out that he had, like, he had a smaller stomach than what he should have had. And I guess something was like wrong with his heart as well, and so they referred me to a specialist. And
let me see something. So like we're talking like we fast forward now. We're talking about like the downfall of the pregnancy, like
not the downfall, but like where everything started like going wrong.
Yeah, like
not wrong, but we were scared. We didn't know what was going on.
Well, she started going to appointments, and then her, what was it, your doctor? Mm-hmm. Her doctor was like, well, we see that your son has a small stomach, like he might have heart problems.
Because there was something with his heart.
That,
they wanted to do like an ultrasound on his heart and his stomach and all that stuff.
Yeah, like that his hands were gonna be uneven, like one was gonna be bigger than the other one.
No, like that his arms and his legs weren't measuring like as long as they should have been.
They tested for the extra chromosome, and then it turns out he had Down syndrome. And then like when she told me, like we didn't tell no one, like I kept it a secret, she kept it a secret, not a secret, but like we just didn't want to tell no one because we prayed to God every day that, and we had faith that he wasn't gonna have Down syndrome, and that everything was gonna be okay. But then that's when God like he has his plans, and we know that it was God's plan that he was gonna have Down syndrome.
I just kept on getting tested for like hella stuff, remember?
Yeah.
And they were just like sending me to like, I don't know how many, like 3 specialists?
Yeah, she was seeing a lot of specialists.
Yeah, they sent me to San Francisco, to UCSF. Shout out to them, they're like the best doctors ever. And they were just telling me like, oh, this is what's gonna happen once you have like we had a set date, and it was supposed to be December 26th of 2018 that I was scheduled, and they were gonna induce me. But Josiah had other plans, and it was Christmas Eve, right?
Yeah.
We were gonna go with my family, but he was like, we could go with my family this year, tomorrow, or he was like, tomorrow we can go with your family, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And so we went with his family. They live in the Bay Area. They're in Redwood City. So that's like what, 30 minutes from UCSF?
Yeah, like
yeah.
30 minutes.
It was like 30 minutes, and then like
you guys are not gonna believe what she wanted to do. It's sorry, but it's the dumbest thing.
It was well, I mean, I was the first time mom. I wasn't, I was like nesting and stuff.
Dumbest thing ever.
Well, you took me, so we were both dumb, but whatever. So no, you're dumb too. So shut up. Okay, so I kind of like I my stomach would always get hard, but I would never get pain. And like that day, my stomach was getting hard more than usual, but I was like, it wasn't hurting me, so I was like, whatever. I was like, wasn't really paying attention to it. So then we were eating and all that stuff. Everybody opened their gifts, and like we're all laughing. And then his aunt was like touching my belly, and then he started kicking, and she was like, oh my gosh. And then his dad got a hotel because he didn't want to drive home. So, we lived like what, 3 hours away from where we
2 hours.
Yeah. And so his dad just got a hotel, and then his dad, his grandpa, his uncle, and his brothers, they were sleeping in one room. And then it was me, him, his mom, and his sister. And we all slept in the other room.
And he was like, Mommy.
Me and he fell asleep like right when we got there.
I was tired, guys. I was really tired.
He fell asleep right when he got there, and I hadn't slept the whole day. We woke up early and everything, and I hadn't slept, so I was tired, but we were still like having fun. We're still having fun. And so me, his mom, and his sister, we just like the lights were off, but we were just still like telling, like they were telling me stories. We're like just talking the whole night. And I was like getting a pain like right here, felt like I was getting cramps, and I was like, oh, what the heck? And I would like sit up. I was like laying down, and then I would sit up. And they're like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, like it just feels uncomfortable. I feel like I'm getting cramps. and then they're like, I don't know, I forgot what they said. And then I just kept on getting them, and then like it was around like 4, almost 5 in the morning, and that's when all of us, we finally fell asleep. Like me and his sister and his mom and me, that's when we fell asleep. Stop giving it to him. That's when we fell asleep. And then I woke up again. I kept on waking up. I was like falling asleep, waking up, because like I kept on getting the cramps. And then I woke up like around, what was it, 5:30? Like 5, yeah, I woke up at 5:30. And then I told him, I was like, it keeps on freaking hurting, and I was like, I can't take it anymore. I was like not, I could still handle it, but I was like, can you just take me to the hospital just to be safe? This kid's crazy. And then so he was like, fine. And then I was like, I want to go home. I want to get all of my stuff. Okay, fine. He woke up. So he was still hella tired, and I had only slept like not even an hour. And then so we ate breakfast that they had at the hotel, and then we drove all the way home, and we were just talking. I was just kind of like, And it was like that pain that like you can tolerate it, but you're just like, like when you're gonna go to the bathroom and your stomach hella hurts. It felt like that. And then
fast forward.
We got home. I boiled all of his bottles, all of his chupones and everything. He took a shower. I went to the bathroom, and I just got all of his stuff, all of his diaper bags, like all his outfits, everything. I put everything that we still needed in our bags, and we just put the bags in the car, and I called UCSF, and I was like, I'm feeling like this. I was like, I'm gonna go in tomorrow either way, so can I just go in today? And then they were like, it's probably just Braxton Hicks, you're fine, because they're like, we don't want you to drive all the way over here, and then if we have to send you home, like
that was the Christmas Day, guys.
Yeah, that was Christmas Day. And so I was like, can I go to my local hospital just to check if everything's okay? And the lady was like, yeah, that's fine. And like, so we went, and then they admitted me and everything. And when we got there, like obviously I changed into the gown, and like they checked me to see if I was dilated, and everybody was like, the nurses, they were just like, what the heck? They're like, what?
She was 5 centimeters, guys.
Yeah, I was already 5 centimeters dilated, and then they're like, we need to call like the helicopter so then they could like fly me over there to UCSF so I could have Josiah over there.
They were like back, like they were going back and
I
forth.
felt so bad for my nurse. Like she was like doing everything. Like she was the best nurse ever. If I ever have another baby and I go to the same hospital, like shout out to her. Like she's so freaking nice. And I felt so bad because she had like done all the paperwork. Like they didn't want to fly me over there because they were like, what if you have the baby on the helicopter and this and that, and like, and all that time, like he called my mom wasn't answering. He called my sister, and my sister called my mom.
I was low-key pissed, guys, because they said like, oh, she can't have the baby here because we don't have the proper care
that he was gonna need, because he was supposed to have surgery.
Like they needed like high-end
all the baby stuff that they needed. And so they weren't as advanced. Like, they were a level 2. They were level 2 NICU. Something like that. And over there at UCSF, they're like level, I don't know what. But they're hella good. And so they were like trying to fly me over there, and then they called the doctors over there, and then they were like, oh, his heart, that he was having like variables. I don't know what that meant. But he was stable. Like both of us were stable, but they still didn't want to send me. So they had told them, because my sister and my mom,
they were like,
and my other sister,
go ahead and start driving over there.
Yeah, my sister.
So you could be ahead of the helicopter.
Yeah, like, he was calling his sister. It was crazy.
And then right when I got to like
it was halfway
to like get another exit to go to like.
It was like right when like at I-5 or something like
right
that?
Before I-5.
Yeah.
They were like, you guys have to come back. She's not gonna make it in time. She's just gonna.
I called him and I was like, you have to come back. I was like, you have to come back. They said they're not gonna fly me anymore. And then he's like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was
So
like, we were both all mad.
So I drove all the way back, and I had to call my sister, my mom, to like drive back.
No, it was my mom. It was my mom. You were with Maria.
Oh yeah, and her sister.
Yeah, my mom and my sisters. They were like, "Go back." I called my sister Carla, and I told her, I was like, "You have to come back." Like, and
she was really stressing, guys.
Yeah, like, she barely got on the freeway, and then she was like, "Okay," and she said dio la vuelta, and she like got there right away. And I was like so scared because I didn't have my phone. He took my phone. I told him, "Take my phone," and so he took my phone. I couldn't call, and I was like, "Can you guys give me a phone? Can you guys give me a phone? I need a call. I need a call."
I don't know why. I think my phone died. That's why.
Yeah, and then like he called my mom, and like obviously they told it was my mom, my two sisters, and then him and his sister. They were in the same car, and it was so freaking crazy. I was like so scared. I was like, what if I have him, and like, what if I have him, and like he's not even here, because my doctor broke my water, and she checked me again, and I was like 7 centimeters already, and I was like, what the heck? And that happened in literally like
it was so
2
quick.
hours, like an hour, huh?
It was
and
quick.
It happened. I dilated 2 centimeters in 1 hour, and then they changed me to the other room, and I was just like chilling in there, like playing with all the like the buttons and stuff. I was just waiting for them to get there, and then they all got here, and then the ladies like write the names of who's gonna be in the room, up to 4 people. So it was my sister, my mom, and his sister, and
me,
him. And then I was chilling, and then out of nowhere, my pain started getting like super bad, like, and then like,
you guys, she was screaming like,
yeah,
oh my gosh, like if I was not me, but like if she was getting hit with the belt, even worse, like 10 times. Like,
yeah.
I'm not trying to make fun or anything, but like, I respect you mothers. Like, it was loud, like. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened to you? Like,
not what happened to me, you know, it's happening to me.
It was bad.
I felt, because like my sister,
and then
like she was looking at me the whole time. You were on my left side, my sister was on my right side,
and like I was trying to like contentarla, and she was like,
I was like, stop making me laugh.
And I was trying to make her laugh, and then I was doing a good job, actually. She even said I was doing a good job.
Yeah, and then like my sister was like, "You're okay," and she was like rubbing my arm and stuff.
Like se calmaba, and then she would start again, and then finally.
It's because the nurse. It wasn't the nurse's fault. Like they were like, "Oh, we have to flip you this way because the baby's heart rate was dropping." And then not like dropping super low, but like it was just dropping like a little bit, but still like they were like, you know, we don't want the baby to be upset or whatever. So they didn't want to put him under any stress. So then they were like, flip this way. And then like once they told me I had to like turn around, then that's when I started crying. And then that's when I kind of like started screaming a little bit.
Yeah, she like.
And then
she didn't want.
I lost it. I lost it.
Yeah, she was doing really good. Like she was following.
I was even laughing.
She was following all the steps. She was like, "It's not even that bad," and I was like, "All right." So everything was going good.
Out of nowhere, I just freaking lost it, and I went like psycho.
10 minutes later, like tables turned.
I was not screaming that loud, but I was screaming.
She was screaming that loud.
I was screaming.
I felt so bad, guys. Like I was like crying. I was tearing up, and then like all the nurses rushed in. Like she couldn't get the epidural.
No, yeah, I told them, I was like, you know, I basically tapped out. I was like, I was like, I want it. And then like, cause my mom, like we all prayed before I went psycho. We all prayed, and then I remember I was like praying, and like we're all praying, and I was like, please, like I want to be able to deliver my baby like without an epidural, like
naturally.
Yeah, like I was like not like how the Virgin Mary did it, but like I was like, I want to be as strong as your mom. Basically, I was like, we're praying to Jesus, and I was like, I want to like be as strong as your mom. And God, like Jesus and God, they were probably like, all right, we're gonna give you the strength. And like once I tapped out, they were like, and like it's crazy how God's plans, like how they are. And my last appointment, my doctor was like, your blood is good, so if you want to get the epidural, you can get it. But then they tested me again right when I was at the hospital, and like when I told them, like they were gonna like he was calming me down, so then like they can like they were getting everything ready basically. And I was like at 8 centimeters, 8 or 9. No, I was 8. They had told me I was 8, so I was like, you know what, whatever. And I hadn't slept at all. I was like so sleep deprived. I was so tired. I was like in freaking pain. And then they were like, you can't get it anymore. And right when they said that, I was like, I don't even care. I was like, I feel like I have to push. And then so it was like 10 minutes. And my mom and my sister and then his sister, they had to come back in. And then they're like, I swear, like they were getting everything ready. And then I was like, I was crying. I swear to you guys, I was gonna pass out. I was like this close to passing out. And like they put my legs up and everything. And they're like, okay, whenever you get a contraction, you have to push. And there's this thing they call like the ring of fire, which is like when the baby's head is like right there. And like you feel your skin freaking like if your skin's freaking ripping apart, like you could freaking feel it. And I was like so scared. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, please just do a C-section. I was so scared because it hurt so bad. Like, he would like get me to concentrate. He would like get me to breathe.
Like when she would push, she would scream instead of push. Like,
no, I was like, no.
Yes, you did.
When I was pushing, instead of like making the force go to like my lower body, I was making it go like to my face. And then my sister was like, no, not like that. She was like, make the pressure, like try and make the pressure go to the bottom. My mom and his sister, I remember I seen his sister, she was like this the whole time, like she was like that because she felt so bad. But and they were all like,
I'm never gonna forget, like she was screaming.
Yeah. And then we're already like, this is the end obviously. And then
I feel so bad.
And then they
Thank
were
God I'm not a girl.
And then whatchamacallit, I pushed maybe like what, 4 times? It was like 4 or 5 times, huh?
Yeah.
And this all happened, like, I swear to you guys, maybe like 20 minutes. Like from when I told him I wanted that epidural to when like I was like to when he came out. And my doctor came in, and then like she cut me.
Yeah, she was.
And then like she was just hella freaking swift. I guess that like he said that he just saw her go just like that.
I saw that, and then
just like that. And then I didn't even feel it. I didn't even know she freaking cut me. And then I didn't even know she cut me. And then I was like, all right, like I was like legit like this. I was like, I wasn't even making any noise. He's like, are you okay? He's like, babe, wake up. He's like, please open your eyes or something. And I was like,
I'm gonna show you guys how he came out.
I was like,
So like,
I went like this. I was like,
So the last time she pushed, and like I seen him come out.
No, his head came out, and then I felt
this was him, guys. He was like, and I was like, what the heck? He came out so fast, like.
And then I was like, ah.
He came out so fast, he almost hit the doctor on the chest. Like he just came out flying.
He just caught him, and then he just came out like that.
And then that's how you were born.
Okay, yeah. And then, yeah, he was born at 6:10 p.m. on December 25th, 2018. And then, like, I remember, like, after I pushed him out, I was, like, kind of looking, because they took him to the little warmer, like, to clean him up. Like, they didn't even put him on my chest. And, like, they were just, like, cleaning out his lung, because he wasn't crying. Like, he made, like, one cry, and then, like, he wasn't crying anymore. And then, whatchamacallit? Like, I turned to look at him, and he was crying. like with such a passion. Like he wasn't like scream crying, but he was just crying because my mom got close to him. She went like that and she was like, look at your son, look at your baby, and he lost it and he started crying. Yeah, he was already crying, but like it's just something that like
I started crying because like I saw how they were grabbing him, and I was like, no, please don't grab him like that. And like they were going like this to him, like pa 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 pa. He was like, and I was like, oh my gosh.
And
like,
he was crying, and I was like crying. I was like, oh my gosh, like I had never seen him cry like that, so it like really touched my heart.
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, go see your baby. My mom was like, go see your baby. And so then he went like to go take pictures and stuff. And then my sister got close to me and I was still crying. And then she started crying. She was like, good job, sister. And I was like, yeah. And I freaking started crying. And like thinking about it makes me want to cry. Because I love my sister so much. Both my sisters. All my sisters. I love them so much. And,
we should wrap it up.
yeah. And then, like, I didn't get to see him. I didn't get to see him. And he saw him. And I was like, what does he look like? What does he look like? And yeah, he showed me pictures. And then the nurses, like, they were just, like, you know, doing everything, stitch me up and all that stuff. And then my poor baby, they freaking took him. I didn't even get to hold him, guys. Like, it was just so sad. Like, I'm gonna leave part 2 for another video, for the next video of, like, when he was at the hospital and stuff, when he got to UCSF. But we're just gonna leave it here. We'll finish the story, guys. This was the little lamb that I was talking about. Like.
So yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap it up right here.
We'll leave part 2 for the next story time.
We're gonna we'll do part 2 in the next
Wrapping
video.
it up here. We love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Like they say, smash the like button.
Turn on your post notification.
And don't forget to follow us on our social medias. They'll be down in the description below.
Yes, they will.
We love you guys. Little Yaya loves you guys. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Say bye, guys. Say bye, guys.